We'll pray that it happens and be grateful for the opportunity, and we say, Modim anachnu lach. Did you already say one? Say another. Go for it. So at some point, going on another cruise, we say, Modim anachnu lach. Lots of cruises. For all these gifts, O source of blessings, we thank you and we sing your praises. And I love the Harry Potter series. I'm sure there might be, I don't know, raise your hand if you're a fan of the Harry Potter series. Yeah. It's fun to see both the kids and the adults. Now, not the biggest fan of the author these days, but I love the books. And, well, I'm going to have a slight spoiler for a 25-year-old book. And you may have seen the movie on repeat on Christmas or whenever it is, but slight spoiler. So at the end of the book, and I think maybe the movie too, right, Harry and Ron and Hermione, they're off to, save the day and do their thing, and they have to sneak out of bed to do so. And as they go to, we're near the climax of the story, and as they go to leave the common room, the porthole is barred, and it's who is blocking it? Does anyone remember? Who's blocking the door? It's Neville Longbottom. I saw some hands, but I started to say it before it was too late, right? Neville Longbottom, the friend who's not one of the best friends, but he is still their friend, and he says to them basically, you can't do this, you can't get in trouble again, we'll all get in trouble, this is wrong, I'm paraphrasing, but he says this is wrong, and he tries to stop them. It doesn't work. Hermione casts a body freezing spell on him, and he topples over, and they go on and they save the day. And at the very end of the book, the sagely Professor Dumbledore is crediting everyone, and he says this about Neville. He says, there are all kinds of courage. It takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to our enemies, but just as much to stand up to our friends. In that moment, Neville showed real power. He showed real might. In our religious school, in the education program, we were learning about this concept of gevura, might. And Neville teaches us that might is not always about muscles. It's about what we say and what we do. And this is something that we see in our Torah portion this week, Vayeshev. So this is the story, it's the beginning of the Joseph story. So we have our three patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and then it switches, the story moves from Jacob to his 12 sons, mainly, especially Joseph. And Joseph, at this point, later he's a great guy. He's wise, and he's a top-ranking Egyptian official, but right now he's a brat. He likes to tattle on his brothers. He likes to tell them these dreams that he has where they're going to bow down to him, basically brags to them. And he's his father's favorite, and he shows it off. And so his brothers hate him. And they decide, because they hate him, that they really want to hurt him, maybe even kill him. They're not so great at this point. Don't kill your siblings. But they want to do this, and so they say, okay, let's hurt him, let's kill him. And Reuben, the oldest brother, steps in, and he says this. He says to his brothers, shed no blood. Cast him into that pit out in the wilderness, but do not touch him yourselves, intending to save him, meaning Joseph, from them and restore him to his father. Basically, Reuben steps in and says, no, don't hurt him. Put him over here for now, thinking like, okay, they'll forget about him or something, and then Reuben can go ahead and save him. Now, there are two real views of Reuben, I'd say. One view of Reuben is that, well, he could have done more. He could have been more forceful. He could have said, guys, cut it out. But there's another view, which is that he acted bravely. He stood up for what he saw was right, namely protecting his brother. Rabbi Shai Held, who's a theologian and scholar, he calls Reuben, if we're taking this view, that he's a paragon of decency and integrity and even courage. Shai Held says that he interceded, knowing that doing so could anger his brothers, these brothers who are already pretty violent, and here he is stepping in, knowing that they could turn that violence towards him. That, to me, is might, right? Standing up in the face of danger, standing for what you think is right, even when you could get hurt, when it could be uncomfortable. That is might. And we know that's not always easy. It can be dangerous. You could be put in a body freezing spell. But how much more powerful it is when we stand up, even in the face of friends, of siblings, of family, of whatever it is. And this is one of the things that our Hanukkah candles teach us. Like the Maccabees who defended our faith, we light our candles in a window facing outward, showing the world this is who we are, this is what we stand for. Through our words, through our actions, we bring light into the world. That is might. That is Gevurah. When can each of us stand up for what is right, even when others say that's wrong, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's scary? Maybe we see a friend or classmate being bullied and we stand up for them. Maybe we recognize something going on at work that's unethical. Maybe we know a friend who's doing something deceitful. Whatever it is, these moments can be really uncomfortable, and that is when we need to act. That is when we need to show our might. So like Neville Longbottom, like Reuben, like our Hanukkah candles and the Maccabees, may we stand up for what is right, even in uncomfortable or scary situations, because when we do that, we are mighty. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will. Amen. And now we turn to a more perfect world, a world where everyone will stand up for what is right. Page 282, Aleinu L'Shabeach. Please rise as we open the ark. Can I get a couple of volunteers to help me open the ark? Benji, yeah, come on up. Ella, great. I assume if they're raising, yeah, come on up. You know what, any of the kids who want to come up and open the ark, come on and do so. Watch the candles.